to be with you and with EXP agents to go through just some of the highlights of what Lofty has to offer, what we can do for them as agents through the CRM of choice. So we'll be taking you through a deck here, a few slides, and then ultimately take you inside Lofty, give you a little bit more of a real look into the CRM. And Brian has some cool things to show you with regards to how EXP is using our platform. So again, thanks for joining us, Brian. We'll jump into this deck here and get going. So let me know,
Sounds
Brian.
great. I'm ready to go. So hi, everybody. I'm Brian Hoyleman. As Wilson said, I am the Chief Strategy Officer, and I've been working with agents and teams and brokers for 20 years. Specifically, though, if you get anybody on this call, current Lofty users or former users or future users of Lofty, everybody here in EXP world, if you recognize me, I've been associated in working with EXP on their tech stack for many years now. At Wilson, as you know, I came over from the previous tech stack organization, and now I'm here at Lofty. Been here for about 2 years. Excited and been excited working with a lot of the EXP agents, and looking forward to showcasing why Lofty is a great option for a platform of choice beyond just CRM. And so let's jump in and go through a little bit of the slides here, and then I'm going to take you into a demo dashboard to show you the feel and give you some hot buttons that you need to know. And then we'll show you a website that's done by an EXP agent, Adam Gillespie. His website, he does a lot of our talks, he's in a lot of our tracks, and he has a lot of coaching tips for Lofty. Great resource for you guys. So ready, Wilson, let's kick it off. So what is Lofty? And when we think of Lofty, think of it as Lofty. And if you came to me as an EXP agent and said, hey, I want to get Lofty, you're able to enable this through your CRM of choice, click, or if you're right now watching this video, you can request that the Lofty, as of July 6th, can be your CRM of choice. Those are your two options right now. So if you're with Lofty, you can raise your hand. You're not changing anything. You're just able to boof, and you'll be the CRM of choice under EXP. It's not going to change your product. If you're with some other vendor, if you're with any vendor, FUB, anything out there, and you'd like to use Lofty or find out about Lofty, there's a pathway inside EXP, and Wilson knows this. If you have questions, he could put a link and show you where to go during this call. But I want to make sure everybody on this call understands that Lofty is a ecosystem to run your business. It is part of CRM, but it is also, you get the ability to have a website. You have your lead gen, you have dynamic CMAs, you have tools built into our system that are part of your CRM of choice under your EXP world. So I'm going to give EXP a big hand for including this great product in that CRM of choice. It gives you guys a great way to recruit agents and lower other agents outside of EXP's cost by coming to you guys. And all of these tools are built in so that if you see it's a phone, you want to make sure that everything that you do in this phone is private, independent, personal, and that's where I want to start. So next slide, please. CRM matters because it's your database, it's your ecosystem, it's where your revenue leads. But we also want to have a bigger, and what I call CRM plus. You want to have the ability to feed leads into it. So go to the next slide as you go through. So you need to be able to have ways to automate your database, nurture, if you have 10,000 leads, some of my EXP agents have had over 100,000 leads in their database, Wilson. You can't watch them all at one time. So you need to be able to have your CRM and your AI take away your jobs and allow you freedom to shake people's hands. And that's what your CRM is about creating relationships. And there's a couple ways that Lofty is really, really top notch at that. We'll talk about that when I show you the back end. But one of the things that if your CRM doesn't have, or your CRM needs to have, is a way to feed itself. And that's where you get into automatic lead gen, direct marketing, the flyers, the mailers, and the tools that we provide on top of just the CRM. So in the next slide, please. So that's going through this is why we're not just a traditional CRM. We're AI powered, but we're not just AI powered managing leads CRM. We are AI powered SEO websites. We're AI powered dashboard to follow up and nurture your leads. So, as you know, you can do anything you want. Next slide, please. With our system to help you search to settle all the way through. So Lofty has a mobile app for your consumers. Lofty has a mobile app for you to manage all of your leads in your CRM. And it sits on top of a full AI system that allows for AI nurture and AI engagement on your website, but it also allows for your ability to have full back-end AI systems built in place through even sales associates. Your AI sits on top of kind of who you are and helps you manage your social media, and all of the things that you can do within our system is built into our platform. So you don't have to go out and get a third-party AI system within Lofty. It's built in, and it's something that you can even upgrade to even more and more future AI systems. So this is your basically success in a box. You don't need to buy third-party resources. So if you scroll, next slide, please. So the reason you choose Lofty is it's more than just the CRM. In fact, we like to say that our CRM is going to be your search to settlement. So part of your CRM would be back over here searching and managing your leads, but we want your CRM to manage your front end website, your SEO, your traffic, your marketing, your advertising. And then once your leads come in and they're raising their hand without doing any work, and if you watch some of Adam's teachings and some of the things that we'll show you today, you can autopilot your CRM to basically create relationships, right, Wilson? And just not have to do anything but just feed your CRM people. Would you like to comment on that? To your experience of working with agents
Sorry, I was
currently?
just in our EX. I was, yeah, just in. I was in our EXP world right now, just chatting, answering some questions. As far as just or your question, I apologize, Brian. You're wondering in regards to just how agents are using the system.
So
My
you've been
experience.
dealing with agents a lot, and would you say that one of their favorite things about Lofty is the way the system's nurturing, converting their leads, creating opportunities, basically working the hardest part of their job for them, so that allows
Absolutely.
them the freedom to work with clients and then actually do lead gen. So that middle portion, the struggle, would you say that's probably the number one feedback you get from agents they like the most?
Absolutely. I'd say there's the amount of time once everything's set up inside Lofty for the EXP agents that I've worked with, the amount of time they're saving in regards to their day to day working with, home sellers, home buyers in regards to just communication, the pieces that they have out there, automation they have built in Lofty saves them so much time as far as just their touch points they have with their clients.
And so everybody here, as we go through, I'm going to jump to my deck in a second. I want everybody, any questions before we get going, Wilson, and move off this here and to the next steps. You can flash the next screen if you want, if there's anything else they need to see. But so we're looking at, in my deck now, we're looking at the back end of when an agent, so everybody here, real energy here, this is your home base. This is when you log into Lofty, it's going to walk you through setting up and creating, this is your home base. So what you see here is your world, it's your new leads, your opportunities, your tasks. The system is building out, watching what's happening, and it's giving you the things that you need to do and putting your world on autopilot. But I'm going to walk everybody through this, Wilson, so they can kind of see where and how
Perfect.
this works. And then please, man, any questions and stop me for anybody that has a question. So really
Perfect.
quickly, for everybody on this call, and I get to be having some fun here and I talk with my hands, one thing that I hear from all agents is, what has my data protected? It's my data. So everybody listening on this call, why Lofty is our system is a complete system. If you were to come to us and want to buy Lofty as your own personal account, you could do that. And that minimum price point's from $299 a month to $499 a month. So everybody watching this call, the CRM of choice for EXP is Lofty. It's your independent private system. And in this independent private ecosystem, you have two choices. You can choose to have a single instance of Lofty, which you have to have. And then if you're a team leader, you can run an entire team. You don't need to go out and buy a team system for the first time for EXP. And everybody watching this video, you have the ability to run a team here. So I'm going to walk you through. You can do your lead routing. So everything that you see here for everybody watching is how you are able to run your business. And if you had ad agents in, it's your private business. Your leads stay private, they stay independent. And if you ever were to leave or you need to move on, your phone and your private instance can go with you. You just have to pay your normal price versus the subscription costs you're getting. And I want to again commend EXP because saving you hundreds of dollars a month. So Wilson, on the back end here, the tabs that agents come into when they come in is they have your people tab, that's your CRM tab. And so if I click on that, it's going to break down all of all your database, your touch points, the AI triggers, the pipeline stages. These things are set to work through AI. So this is not something agents would change. they could always have a question of, well, can I change these? You can customize your stages up here, and you can customize all of your actions to here in your CRM of choice. So one of the things, the questions agents have is like the system itself, for everybody listening, is actually monitoring your leads. It's scoring your leads. It's changing the property alerts. So this CRM is not just a database. It is a front-facing IDX portal, just like if you were going to Zillow or anything like this. So when we come in and click on your leads, your entire MLS is built into here. And if I click on this lead here, it breaks down all of the things you can call, your text, your email. You see your AI will track what's happening. You have your smart plan. So everything is one ecosystem, one CRM, but connected to your website. I'm going to pause here. Wilson, are there any questions that are popping up right now?
Yeah, just some ones in the chat that I'm able to kind of just respond back to in here. One of the ones that came up, a few popped in all simultaneously. One that just popped up is how is Lofty different from KV Core?
That's a great question. And, I was obviously the chief strategy officer and was that for Conversion, the original platform, and it became KV Core. Honestly, they're very similar in that, and I don't want to go into like competitors here, but essentially is if you try, we have a migration process. So if you just choose us and you want to use us, the feature benefit of KV Core or Bold Trails is very similar. They have a different UI, but when we go through this, marketplace, add-on marketing, advertising, full website for your business, I would say that the biggest difference is simplicity. Wilson, you've talked to a lot of EXP agents. Do you want to just comment about, they've moved over quite a few. We have over 1,000 that have moved over. We have them coming in every day now. My common theme is it's much simpler to use. Would you agree? Is that a common comment that you hear as well?
Yeah, absolutely. User interface more simplified is what I hear. We'll be coming out to one thing I wanted to add when I saw that question pop up, and thanks for answering that, Brian. Is we're likely to have some documentation to the agents that are listening right now, just more clear working with EXP, obviously with the other CRM of choice options. We're going to have some clarity around kind of more digestible things that people can glance at as well as they're making the consideration. But yeah, Brian, you're absolutely correct. That's from agents that are currently on Lofty at EXP. That's what I typically have heard. It's just this ease of use, the simplicity from the mobile perspective, from the desktop perspective. So
Great. And then for everybody listening in, for that question, the difference is this is a full front end website with over 60, you have the option to do a subdomain. Then if an agent chooses for $10, they can do what's called a vanity domain, most of the agents. So you have your CRM component. You can use a third-party website. We have plugins for that. Or if your agents want to have their own full-on SEO website, I would say that our website editor, which I'll show you now for everybody, here is when you click in here, you have your option to do what's called a vanity domain for that agent that talked, or we call it a personal domain or a standard domain. They're able to do that for $10, and then or when they opt into that and use that, then they're able to access their website and have that. And then if they want to go up to a full SEO domain, we have full brand initiatives and all kinds of different things that agents can use. And you would see a little bit of difference if you as an agent of that question. I think our website customization program and the ability for agents to customize and personalize and have a full-on custom website and very easy to use website system, if they choose to go to that, is by far the best in the space, in my opinion. Now, so this is a great opportunity that separates us maybe from the other CRM choices. I'm not going to speak for them because they're all great. And what I would say is that if you want to use us, I think it's the website builder, the ability to have IDX fully vetted into the system. Our AI, I think, is superior or top notch because it's full. And then the final thing would be the ability for you to use the system much easier. And all of us have a Teams option as well, but I think that our team routing, team management is a little bit easier and more robust. So those are some of the aspects of that. I hope that answered that question.
definitely, thanks, Brian. I think for the most part here, one of the questions Claudia was asking is, let's see, so she's got access. She's asking about prior access, which I responded. She said, "How is that going to affect our website?" Claudia, I don't know if I maybe have full context on that question around the website. I know
I
Brian's
can
gonna,
I can do
yeah,
that.
show some.
So for you, anybody that's currently on Lofty that's watching this video, and then we're going to get into some hyping stuff again. But I wanted to know this because I knew these questions would come up, and I want the audience to hear this. So if you're with Lofty currently, and you are choosing our choice, your world's not going to really change. It's just all that's different is that you're not having to pay for both Lofty instance and your tech fee. So now we're rolled in. So as soon as you choose us, the only thing that you'd be paying for is if you have the add-on website, full website. You're just nothing changes there. So your world doesn't change. I hope that clears. Your leads are not going anywhere new. Nothing changes in your system. It's just how nothing really honestly changes other than the fact that you're not paying a separate cost for two different systems now. You just got Lofty. I hope that answered that question for them. Okay. So let's jump into some cool stuff. So this is a CRM. You can manage your IDX data here for everything. So it tracks all the different clicks, what they're doing, and it scores your lead based on the listing alerts that are going out. So this becomes your listing alert location for all your leads, typical of what you see in your current provider that you've used under the CRM choice under EXP. Nothing's going to change here. The same similar thing, you can manage your IDX. Now, what's really cool though about Lofty and its AI is, let's say you're driving down the road, you're on your app, you have a conversation with the lead, you're talking, you're calling, things like that. It can record that conversation and it can bring that conversation here and it tracks it all. And so you have one single stop place for anything that you talk or do with your lead. The other thing that's really cool on the Lofty system from the CRM backend beside the lead behavior is the idea that the system itself is triggering actions based on your smart plans and your CAC marketing. I think this is the one thing that my teams that I've worked with find most appealing about Lofty is the ability to really customize their smart plans and have different libraries and be able to do this very easy. This is one of the simplest things that we have. And one of the cool things is you have different actions and triggers. And if you listen to any Adam's teaching, is the ability to set up different triggers. It's very simple for agents to use our marketing plan when it comes to drip in their campaigns. The actions are really cool. So they can do things like, I want to send an email. I want to make a call. I want the system. I can tell my AI to do something for me. I'm going to repeat, for me. Notifications. I can send out physical postcards within my drips within Lofty because we have a full postcard system. I can send out text. So this gives you the ability as an agent to basically customize an entire journey easily within the system. And yes, you can sync the video, you can add videos, you can ask conditional questions based on, hey, if the buyer says this, or if the thing's this, you can actually really set up a automated system and you can assign different tasks really easy. So those teams that have AIs or ISAs or a co-agent or co-lender, all of that's built in the Lofty if they go to a team instance of the CRM choice. So again, this is a complete CRM management system, and it's right at the top tier of any CRM they can use. But let's move into the last thing and some questions around. Any questions around this? We can handle that. Anybody that comes in, we have a help and learning center. We have top-notch training. We have ability to have different videos that you're able to train on. So you have all of these different things that you're able to do within Lofty. So that question mark is, if you have a question once you pick us, you can just do all of it here. Do you have any questions about our training that you want to share before we move on to lead gen and the fun stuff of how to make money?
I've been in the chat right now, Brian, just getting a lot of questions kind of just randomly about Lofty and functionality importing over from previous CRMs, and I'm just kind of tending to.
Yes. Does a change management thing. So they're going to have to, when they make the choice, if they're already using some other vendor, mainly if they're using, hey, I've been on this current vendor for X time, and now what happens, and moving the leads into our system, there's a whole process that we're doing to make that easy. If you're not currently on Lofty, there's some what we call lead CPR training, which I like to talk about, which is a lot of your leads may be on active alerts. You can move in their name, their email, their bedroom, their bath, their city, and the ones that are active, you can engage those in automatic alerts that go out. You can do a campaign and lead CPR. We have a training for that. I happen to like it. Essentially, is you want to wake your leads up with specialized targeted emails, and we have a whole training on how to do that once you move them in. And so look for that lead CPR training. That's really cool.
Definitely. One quick question, Brian, from Leaf. He said, thanks. I really want to be able to customize title all 4 components, sources, tags, segments, and pipelines, but Lofty told me that we may not be able to customize any of those via the CRM of Choice program. At minimum, yes, absolutely need the ability to modify title, customize tags.
That's not a problem. So let me
Yeah.
explain how that works. And I did at the beginning, but it's a great question. So understanding in here, as I said, the actions and what you do, and then I said the triggers based on what the pipeline say. So the pipeline itself is not as important as what people are making out. Pipeline has to be built in a way that really isn't customizable, because you have to build all this automation in the pipeline stage. But when you get into your CRM people tab, all of your tags or your labels or your things here becomes your own customizable pipeline. You can send leads into lead pond. You can partially, you have the ability to customize your, okay? So that's important note. Different versions of your pipeline stage, it makes it really difficult for AI to do their job. So this is really where you go. And again, you can go partial leads and you can give jobs through here to automate that. So to your point, and that gentleman that asked that, if he wants to talk to me or reach out to me privately to ask some questions around that, not a problem. But again, the CRM allows you to do your tags. And when you come into your marketing, and I know we don't want to make this a training, but you come into your marketing aspect over here and you get able to target different actions based on what segment they're in, and you can do that, not a problem. I hope that answers his question.
No, thank you, Brian.
So instead of thinking pipelines, think segments, which are pipelines. It's just how you choose to make sure you set it up.
Perfect.
Cool.
Hallie in the chat was asking, can we see example of other agents Lofty websites? I think you
yeah, I have that queued up.
Show that, right?
Before we jump, we're going to end on that because that's what everybody has some questions of. I have one example, but when we go into the website editor here, you choose to make a website. You have a basic website that's what you might call a vanity domain or whatever you want to call it. That's not a full SEO site. So once you get into an SEO system site up, it's basically $49. Whatever they want to do with it, they have that full editor and they have the ability to fully edit their site. When you come into your CRM of choice, you can choose that option at any point as an agent, and we have trainings and options. We also have customization services for agents. If they want a full custom website experience, they can option that request and do that as well. Okay. But I'll show you one before we go. All right. So when we come into here on the back end here on your marketing advertising, Lofty is a complete marketing system. So you have your buyer lead gen, which is your PPC management. Yes, there's a slight management fee, but we also have seller lead gen. We have remarketing ads. We have the ability to do automatic one-time boosts or blasts that allow for agents to automatically, for $99 generate per month. And keep in mind, this is not upselling you. This is paid ads. We're just doing all the marketing for you. But every agent can come in here, and this is our #1 lead gen, hyperlocal, homeowner, and hyperlocal people using a zip code to brand yourself in that market. Usually you're going to get 10 to 30, 40 leads a month. It's recurring. You pick a zip code and you just click a button and everything's done for you. You can also come in and do listing blast, which is automatically like a property boost, but it's lead gen based, not promotional. These are all advertising services to generate leads. You can also come in and do things like an automatic circle prospecting tool. You have unlimited landing pages. So this is not just a CRM. This is a complete marketing system. You have a design center that allows you to have your postcards designed. You have a print house, so you don't need to buy third parties. This is also something that is similar to Canva. So this is all built in to your normal Lofty ecosystem. So I'm going to make sure that so any leads that everybody generates from the traffic and lead gen that you guys have, anything you do here are private, independent leads. And if they're a team, any team leads you generate are private. The agents can't export them. Any agent that generates a lead in our system or puts a lead in our system that's in their own personal lead, that can remain private and personal for the agent. This is really important, Wilson, that we capture this, because a lot of agents fear what happens if I move from the CRM into this and then I leave EXP or move forward. Does anybody have access to my personal leads? The answer to that question is no.
Kind
One
of
of the
on that
best things.
Sorry, kind of on that note,
Yeah.
Brian, just a relevant question from Anna here. She says, if we had Lofty with another broker and left to come to EXP and now have KV Core but would like to switch back to Lofty, is there a way to recover the website we previously had created, or we need to start from scratch?
You probably, there's the templates that if you want to, if it's a full website you've done back, which you would have had as an editor, you would want to enable your CRM choice with us. And then as an editor, you would just go to the upgrade to 49, and that way you're not paying for the full system, but you're still getting all the feature sets of that full system. If you were used to have Lofty in the past or Chime in the past, and you moved to EXP, then moving back from a third party like Bold Trails or KV Core, you're just migrating your leads in, but your feel and your feature set and the feel is exactly the same you would have had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The only thing that they can't do is the pipeline. Recovering your website file, I don't know how long that is, if it's and how long we have it. Generally, the answer to that question is possible, but because we've added new website templates in, then you might not worry about that. But if you've done some customization to it, then that's something that you should put a request in. And I don't know the answer to that question right now. It's about timing, how long we store that data. Good
For
question though.
sure. Yeah, this one's a little more, I know, along the lines of some of what we've been talking about, but did I understand it correctly? We have an add-on or pay more in order to have a website. So just talking a
No,
little bit more about the regular site. Yeah.
no, for everybody viewing this, a website is a subdomain. Let me just share that because we're going to have those questions going there next. Great
Mm-hmm.
question, by the way. So 1 second here. And so, hi, everybody. I have to just change the screen to show something different. And share screen. And there we go. Let me know if you see this. We good?
Yep, there it is.
So when we think about Lofty, there are 3 website options. One is a subdomain, which is a website that you can forward your domain to. So you can take your briansellshomes.com, or in this case, this is adamg303.com, which is an EXP agent. He's also a contributor to us, and but he also runs a team, and it's great. You'll see his videos out there. So the subdomain will be a mirror image of what EXP, our parent site or broker site has. It's a subdomain. You can point your domain there. You can change a little bit of the neighborhoods or the community information, that little widgets, little things here, what those point to. But yeah, you have a full website as a subdomain. It's the same thing. If you choose to have a vanity domain or a personal domain, that's an upgrade. It doesn't change necessarily the website, but there's cost of hosting that domain, and that allows for you to have that. That's agents that have been on Lofty have done that. It's $10, very inexpensive. Again, that is your full website. It just allows, instead of forwarding your domain, Adam, it allows them to have that domain parked on their site. And that's the same on a team site or on the freemium option. If the agents listening in want to do a full SEO site, have the ability to do a custom editor, things like that, that requires us to have to do an individual MLS paperwork to actually house that MLS within that agent's ecosystem, and a lot of other costs. Typically, those customizable websites outside of our market would be in our normal standard $399, $299 product. They're able to get that full custom option at $49, and that's special pricing in the EXP world. So if somebody was outside of our market and they were coming over and had a full instance of Lofty as an agent, and they were paying $299 a month, when they went to work with EXP, they would be able to reduce their costs or allocate those costs to something else, like marketing or advertising for lead gen. I hope that answers that question.
Definitely. Brian, I think I had one more here I was going to ask you to address. Let me see. Getting quite a few questions rolling in.
Everybody's going to care a lot about websites these days. So let's kind of, as you're going through those questions, pick a couple. But for time, I want to make sure everybody listening in, when you get your website with us as a stub domain, or you decide to do a vanity domain above that, just know that in this instance, if you're using a third-party website, doesn't mean that you can't use Lofty CRM. We have a plugin. We have the ability to be CRM website agnostic with our system, and you're going to get a Lofty website you can use as well. So even if you have your own websites out there, luxury presence or something like that, we'll integrate with luxury presence. So again, don't think that we're dependent on our website. We have integrations pending with Follow Up Boss. So you can use the Lofty system in all of its marketing, its advertising systems. You could actually potentially use that with a third-party CRM as well. So our system is very modular. So if, for everybody here, the website, we can offer a website system relatively easily without a CRM plugin. We can go. So agents listening in, don't just think you have to have the Lofty CRM. We have all other options available. So website, full website directed for buy, sell. You have the ability to have your neighborhood community pages. You have the ability to upgrade to a different full custom version, and it's not functionality feature sets the same at all 3 levels. You have the ability to control your domain. You have the ability to have the blogging. You have the ability to have your calculator. This is available in all 3 options. So whether it's a subdomain, a basic website, or our group site, custom editor, all the website options allow for you to have the same functionality. Neighborhoods, community pages, buy, sell, seller landing pages. It's a full website, very uncomparable to anything that they've been using within the EXP's website provider, Bold Trails or KV Core. Not much different. A website is a website is a website. So in other words, we probably have a few more customizable options, but it is definitely SEO friendly. And our top line website option is probably the best SEO system I've ever seen. Any questions I can handle before we kind of wrap up with?
Yeah. This is one that just came over. I think it's an extension from what Leaf was asking before. He says, I don't need a vanity website, but doesn't appear. I think it's just based off maybe something you'd already addressed before, but I don't need a vanity website, but doesn't appear as though we can connect MLSs via IDX without it. i.e. cannot connect 3 MLSs via a generic agent website, right?
So when you're doing
multiple,
if they have multiple MLSs and you need, whether it be a basic site and those types of things, those things have to be done and approved at a higher level because one, you have to be members of those MLSs. So just note that that's not going to be a problem. It may have been a problem in the past, but under the current or past Lofty instance, as opposed to a problem in the new instance moving forward with the XP at the parent website of choice or CRM of choice. Wilson, great question. Let's get a follow-up on that. They should be able to add an MLS that they belong to in the CRM of choice without restriction.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I hope that answers this question.
Yeah, let us know, Leaf. I appreciate you being active in the chat. You've been asking some really good questions. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, no. So anyways, I really wanted to make this different than a hype video like, hey, we're here. I wanted to make sure I got some questions and answered on this video for future state. Yeah. But full website, the ability to do things within the system, like your market, all of the things that we're talking about is a very mirror image or a better version of what they've been used to, just simplified, very easy to use for Lofty's CRM of choice. What I want everybody to know is we have a website options. We have full-on marketing options. We have pay-per-click options. We have automatic farming options. So we have a much deeper level value for your agents that are in our system to really run a one-stop restaurant. Be the agent that sits at the center of marketing, advertising, social, website. And for every agent that's listening in here, all of those things are critical for one stat. And I'll share this stat for everybody listening. 93% of all real estate transactions. What I mean by that, for everybody listening, 93% of website transactions happen on direct marketing flyers, mailers, people you know, hyperlocal, social media. Only about 7% of transactions happen from internet lead first, meaning driven through Google internet leads. And that's a stat that's through the industry. That's a stat that comes from NAR. And it's very interesting because we want to provide all the agents a way to tap into that 93% in a much more dynamic way, go beyond CRM and go beyond internet pay-per-click, flyers, mailers, postcards, open house forms, everything that an agent does, we want to enhance that on AI. And that's what I want them to know when they come to this video is just make this your complete source. And that's why you want to choose Lofty.
Thank you, Brian. Just answering a few more questions here. Some people asking about it being recorded, which I'll let them know. We'll have access to this. If you're listening right now, I know within the EXP world, they'll have access to this recording for you guys. You can reference ones we've done in the weeks past as well. This coming Wednesday, not to steal any thunder from Brian, just to give people a little bit of a heads up on what's coming. This Wednesday, we'll be getting to more specific functionality features within Lofty and doing more on smart plans specifically, which is kind of a core component, or it would say is the core component of our automation as far as follow-up goes.
And that we can make a note, because if questions related to pipeline stages, that they show them how they can customize that. It's going to be something that they ask about kind of regularly, and I can tell you that's really what's one of the most dynamic things about our CRM is the ability to create different segments based on where you want to convert leads in different stages of your life cycle. That's very unique to our AI system. So again, definitely the last thing I'll say for everybody listening in, take a deep breath. This is we're going into the world of where you have a choice to go to one or the other. This is great options for you guys. And you have probably the 3 best choices in the space today to choose from, and different things. So we want to thank the other people and the vendors of choice in EXP for allowing us to be there, and allow for agents to go on this journey of what I call revenue, as opposed to a journey of, hey, I need to manage my CRM. If you're in here managing your CRM, you're not making money. That's my message to you. Have leads, join, do things, charity events, use your system to build a business, and your CRM should take care of you.
No, absolutely. I have people asking about just timing once they make their selection on their CRM choice. Is that slated for 7/1 still, July 1?
7/6.
Oh, 7/6. Okay.
Yes, and for anybody that's a team or wants to, we're taking requests, and like, hey, hand raisers right now. And there's a process that Wilson and we have within the EXP when you do want to do early adopters. So if you guys are not with, you're not with EXP and Lofty right now, but you're with some other resource, any resource. And if there's a team on there, team of 50, team of 10, team of 20, team of 30, there's teams that have 100 agents, multiple markets. We have private, for everybody listening, we do have private opportunities to, on a larger team, to understand the deep level value we have of our system as running a team enterprise system. So definitely want to make sure you guys know that. Between now and then, we have over 404 teams that have said, hey, already kind of ready and looking for this. So I want everybody to know it's 7/6, opt in, walk through the process. We have a very simplified agent process. If you are a team and you want a one-on-one consult, we have some group things for under 10 agents, I believe it is, under 10 agents. And then for those teams that have more than 10 agents, we have some hand raisers, walk through one-on-ones that you can do as well and schedule out. So looking forward to that for teams as well. This is EXP's first time offering a team system that I'm aware of down, because they usually didn't. It was just a CRM of choice. Offering this team option, freemium and paid option, is really dynamic for us and to help teams out successfully. So there's going to be a freemium option and there's going to be a paid option. That's going to be all explained through your outreach.
Perfect. One other question, I think it was just a little bit higher up on here, just real quick, Brian, before we start to wrap. I know we already integrate directly with Sisu, from my understanding. Did you know if we integrate with Fellow?
No, not Fellow, not at this time yet, but a lot of what Fellow offers for those agents that want, and that'd be something that's going to come up in a lot of questions. So maybe we can address that with me and the team, and also a future call, Wilson, with probably around that. Fellow is I won't get into it, but we do have some options coming soon related to that. And it's really how you manage your database and pull in content from other sources of data. So what it is finding out homeowner data and then pulling in to clean up your database and directly market to them. We have a unique functionality that we're trying to uncover homeowners and getting homeowners to raise their hand from the day they visit the site all the way to close. It's unique to Lofty CRM that we're building out. So future state, hold tight on that. We may have something that's good or better. And can we help you integrate? The answer to that would be yes. We can. There's lots of different ways to use both. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Brian. I think that may have answered some of the question that Hallie had something similar with regards to Fellow. So thank you, Brian. That's kind of a 2-for-1.
And it'd be great on just doing a seller webinar series, maybe on this talk about how Lofty can empower your seller marketing and create more homeowner value. I think would be a great caveat to write down for our CRM of choice marketing outreach. A lot of people on this call will want to hear how our system is probably the best in class for generating seller opportunities. And so that would be
Absolutely.
a great topic. Okay. I hope that will
Awesome.
answer those guys with fellows questions and things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's great.
yep, absolutely. Any other questions? We can sign off and just say I'm really excited. I'm excited about what we'll be doing at the big EXP event rollout coming up in the fall. Really excited about all of you learning or using Lofty as a CRM of choice. But I do want everybody to understand that this is a business resource of choice. Partner, scan your code to find out more. So excited about it. But note, if you have any questions, we are really working hard with EXP to scale this in a way that makes everybody, like and enjoy this experience. So happy to have all you guys revisit the Lofty, and I can't wait to see you guys in the fall as well. And I can't wait to keep doing these webinars. I really enjoy it. Thank you guys for having me. Wilson, thank you for helping with the
Yeah.
questions.
I appreciate you, Brian. Thanks so much for being
Thank
on
you.
here. Yeah.
Have a good day, and
Thanks so
look
much.
forward to it. Take care. Bye.
All right. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.